Hey everyone, Mr. Langley here. Today I'm going to show you how to assemble, disassemble, and clean or maintain your saxophone. This will be the same for both alto saxophone and tenor saxophone, so whatever saxophone you have, this video should apply to you. All right, without further ado, let's get started, huh? Okay, so here's our saxophone. And the first thing first, we're going to make sure our saxophone is in the right upright position to open it. So one of the big things you need to know is that your case, whether the latches are square or round, the round part should be up here and the latches should open up. If you open the latch up, the top part should come up. The top part usually has the name of the brand of the instrument on it. And I open it up, and voila, there's our instrument sitting nicely in our case. A couple of things that we need to know about for the alto saxophone, the parts. This is the saxophone. This goes for the alto sax and the tenor sax and the bari sax. They're all one-piece instruments, but they also have what we call the neck. Okay, so this is our neck right here. It sits in a separate location. Notice that the mouthpiece is over here, not on the neck. So always take your mouthpiece off. Here's the mouthpiece guard. We've got our mouthpiece. And this little guy here is called the ligature. We'll talk about that here in a second. A couple of things in our case here. This is our neck strap. Yours might look a little different. Okay. We're going to have a little cork grease. We're going to need that later here. Reeds in our reed guard. If you don't have a reed guard, they're most likely in a little plastic case. That means they're brand new, or you just don't have a reed guard yet. And we have our swab. This is a saxophone swab, and we'll talk about that here in a second. And we don't need this because there's no reed in it. All right, so first things first, putting our alto sax or tenor sax or bari sax together. I like to get my neck right on to the alto saxophone. All right, so I'm going to take the sax out of here. So just a word. This sax has a swab inside of it that lives inside there. That's fine. We're just going to take that out and leave that in our case. What I'm going to do with my neck is I'm going to push my neck ever so slightly on it. It should just go back and forth here. Let me see if I can get a better view. There we go. Right there. So the neck just ever so slightly touches right here. So this key moves that. And then we're just going to tighten this little screw on the back here just a little bit. There's a couple of them, nice and tight. All right, not too tight. Don't want to over tighten those screws. The next thing I like to do is I like to get my reed on my mouthpiece. So I'm going to take my ligature off my mouthpiece, and I'm going to grab a reed out of my reed holder here. Let's open our reed holder. Oh man, we've got two reeds here. This one right here, as you can see, is chipped and is not going to play. So we're just going to throw that right in the garbage there, right? This one, this reed right here, that's a good reed. No chips on the top, really nice and flat. So we're going to line that up here with the flat side of our mouthpiece. Reed goes just like that, and it sits on the top. We're going to take our ligature. Ligature is a little bit bigger on one side than the other. The bigger side goes down, and the screws face you on the flat side. We're going to put that on, make sure our reed stays in place. And it's going to be just at the top there. And we're going to tighten those screws so just a little bit of the unfinished part is showing at the top there. Not too tight on those screws. You want this piece of wood to vibrate, this reed. All right, I usually at this point put my neck strap on. Let's see if I can switch camera views here. Should be able to. So my neck strap just goes right over my neck, like so. And then we've got our hook on the end. I'm going to pick up my sax from my case. Let's see if I can get this down a little bit. I think I can. Okay, so my hook here goes in this hole, just like that. Now, when I do that, I never just let go, because this thing could fall. So though I am standing up, I suggest you sit down and have a nice place where you can keep hold of your instrument. Then I take my mouthpiece. Okay, I've already put a little cork grease on here. I put a little on my finger on the cork, and I do this just to help my mouthpiece go on just a little bit easier. And I push and I turn, not too far. About there is good. So now you are ready to play. You have assembled your saxophone. So now we are going to disassemble our saxophone in just the order that we did forwards. We're going to do backwards. So we're going to take off our mouthpiece. Put that off to the side here. I never want to chip my reed because that will break it and will not play again. I am going to take my saxophone off of my neck strap. I'm going to lay it down in my case. And now here's one of the most important parts. I'm going to take my neck strap off because chances are good you're going to wear it to your next class or outside or wherever you're going to be. Put that back in my case here. I'm going to take my ligature off my mouthpiece. I'm going to put my reed back in my reed holder. That goes right back in my case. Ligature on, mouthpiece protector on, put it right there. I'm going to take off the neck, loosen up the screw here, loosen up here. We'll take that off. Cork grease goes back in the case. Now this is a swab, a different kind of swab. So we have two different types of swab, whatever one you have. So if you have this type of swab, you hold the instrument, push the swab in a couple times, just let it dry out for a second, and then you can put it back in and put it back in your case. However, I'm going to show you how to use this other type of saxophone swab here. So it's just a little brush on a piece of fiber cloth and a weight on this side. So the weight I'm going to put in the top of the alto here, top of the saxophone. Put that right at the top here. And I'm going to turn it over. So our weight is coming out the bell there, see that? And then I just pull my brush and my cloth right through my saxophone like so. And you have now cleaned your saxophone. And the saxophone goes back in the case. Make sure everything is in proper place. I can close it, latch it, maybe, there we go, latch, and latch, and you're good to go. That was how to assemble and disassemble and maintain your saxophone. If you have any questions, please email me. Otherwise, have a great day, everybody.